Nation. If you love the nerd life ranging from the movies to anime to comic books to everything else in between, then be sure to stay tuned and listen carefully because this is Zero to Hero.
Welcome back to Zero to Hero, the #1 podcast where me and some friends talk about everything you love to hear and talk about. My name's Christian Abora.
My name is Wyatt Craven.
And we got a big slate on us today, bro. A lot of things to talk about and a lot of things to discuss. First thing I want to discuss, though, is we're down a member.
We are.
Yes, rest in peace, Leonard. No, I'm just kidding. He's fine. He just didn't want to come today. Or he's busy, and so we're going to have him fill in. And the point is, he's not going to be here.
We had a co-member here.
There's three of us.
Way of the green screen.
Yeah, we had a sit-in for Leonard, but it didn't work out. Anyway, Wyatt, Pokemon Sun and Moon is launching. It launched.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Are you excited?
I don't play Pokemon.
Do you even own a 3DS?
No, I don't.
No, you don't. I don't either. So
Leonard left his in my car for like 6 months and forgot about it. So I could have owned a 3DS, but I didn't.
He forgot his actual 3DS?
He did.
Dang. Well,
yeah. I
was really hoping Leonard would be here to talk about Sun and Moon because the stuff I do know about it is not as crazy as, I don't know. I wish it was not more my topic, but
none of this is my topic.
Yeah, well, Sun and Moon is still exciting, you know. If you're a Pokemon fan, I guess it's a new Aloha region. They're bringing back a lot of classic Pokemon and giving them new types, and they're just kind of shaking up the actual gameplay of, you know, what Pokemon is. Yep. Did you ever play the old Pokemon games? I
played, well, not legit Pokemon, but there was like an off-brand Pokemon game, I think.
Off-brand Pokemon.
It was weird. It was for the what was it? It was for the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
And what'd you do? You still caught Pokemon and stuff?
No, you like rode around in a train cart and you took pictures of Pokemon.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
I don't either, but I mean, it was a thing. So.
Yeah. Huh. Well,
other than that, I played Pokemon Go for like a month, and then I was like, okay, this is boring.
I mean, this gets me excited because we know about the Nintendo Switch. We talked about it last podcast.
Yep.
Rumor is that there is going to be a version of this game that's actually going to be on the Switch. You know, whether we have Sun and Moon being on 3DS, Pokemon Stars is what its codename, is actually going to be on the Nintendo Switch for people to play and do on that in the console experience.
Ooh, that's going to be good.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, because I'm a Pokemon fan, the only thing that stops me from playing Pokemon games is not having that hardware. I mean, I don't have a 3DS. I don't have a Nintendo Wii or a Wii U. You know, those things aren't interesting to me. The Nintendo Switch is, and I might, you know, delve into Nintendo's ecosystem that way. But other than that, I doubt you'll see me pick up a Nintendo console.
For sure. I'm the same.
Yeah.
Switch would be my only way.
Mm-hmm.
But
so like, let's say you had Switch. Metaphorically,
unless they bring out
world.
unless I decide to go spend money on the NES Mini.
Mm-hmm.
Because that
but
would
that's
be
$60. $60. That's not a console. That's a game. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Versus like NES Switch or like a 3DS is, you know, upwards from $100 to what I'd say $300 is what the Switch is probably gonna be.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, when you counterbalance all those things, I don't know, because I mean, I really want a Pokemon experience, but Pokemon Go didn't really scratch that itch for me. I mean, It was really cool, and everybody played it, you know, of course, for a little bit, but I don't know. I need more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
I need to turn this up a little bit. I do apologize.
Oh, it's good. It's good. I can be louder if you want me to, for sure.
Maybe you just talk with your big boy voice.
I will.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, so next up on the list, we have the NES Classic launch. You mentioned it earlier. People are going crazy about this thing. So basically, describe to people what it is.
It's an NES that's smaller.
It comes packed with all the classic games that were launched at the time. So you'll have like all the Marios, any Nintendo game is pretty much on that little console.
Yep.
And it's just a bite-sized version of the older console, but with an HDMI output, and you can have new controls and all that other stuff. Do you see yourself getting one? I mean, because when they launched, people were going crazy. People were stabbing each other in the streets. Just they really wanted these things. Were you in that fray or no?
No, I wasn't. But I was excited for it when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd read about it like a week before it came out, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be super cool. And then I found out your mom went and bought it, and I was like, well, I'm gonna be over there anyways, not in a.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Like,
well,
I'm gonna give you like a second to apologize.
I apologize.
Thank
but
you.
I figured if I'm gonna be at your house sometimes, anyways.
You get to see it and play
I get to see it and play it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to see her play it or me play it personally, but it looks pretty cool. I mean, it seems pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that they shove all those games into that tiny console for $60.
Right. Well, I heard a lot of complaints about it because of the cord for the controller.
That's what my mom hates, dude.
Yeah, they said
every
that
time
it's so
she
dumb. I was
tries to
like-
play it, she'll rip it out of the wall, and like just the whole console will come flying at her because the cord is. You're right. It's
It
like,
is really small.
It's like that.
But
so.
it is a mini console, so of course they're gonna have everything miniature.
Mm-hmm. But the cord.
The cord,
that,
yeah,
that seems
is
pretty
stupid.
vital.
That
Yeah, like
that shouldn't be.
I think they just did that so you're forced to go pick up, extension cables or blah blah blah.
That could be.
Back into buying.
Yeah,
stuff.
that could be a good point.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if I were to get this, the only thing I see myself playing is Mario Bros. Because when it comes to Nintendo, I mean, the classic games, those are the ones that really stick out in my mind. That's a lot really played.
I don't even know if I would get that because I have a box downstairs with 3 Super Nintendos in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have a 4th one sitting downstairs in my living room.
Right.
So, I mean, it would be kind of pointless
See, I have
for me to go pick
emulators.
that up because I have all those and then I have a full, like, I don't know, like 6 foot by 6 foot box of just Super Nintendo games.
Mhm.
So it would be almost a waste of $60.
But at the same time, for that $60, it's taking all those cords and all those consoles that you had and putting it all into one little thing. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's true. Yeah.
So I mean, you pay for the convenience, and $60. It's the price of a normal game today, and you get to have all the games that our parents had when they were young. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you say it that way, it seems like a better deal. But when you start to factor in like the small controllers and I guess that's the only downfall of that thing. That's just really cool. Why don't we go buy some? You okay?
Just my damn seat.
You
There we go.
fix yourself.
I'm feeling good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what do we got next? Telltale Games.
The Telltale games.
I'm so excited for this.
You played them.
I play every
I've
one.
wanted to play them.
Played every one except for I haven't finished the first
Mhm.
episode of Batman because it just got boring.
It got boring. You're Batman. What's boring about that?
It's like Bruce Wayne's life more than Batman's life.
That sounds awesome. So you're billionaire playboy philanthropist, just walking around doing your stuff.
Yeah, but in the Batman game. Okay, we're not talking about the damn Batman game, all right?
So,
But
but
let's
like,
let you play the Batman game, and we gotta talk about this new stuff.
okay.
Okay, so there was hints of a new game. Actually, it came out because of the voice actors. This is what I read on IGN.
Mhm.
But because of this voice actor strike that's going on right now,
Right.
one of the people that does the voice acting leaked this information by accident. They totally did not mean to, but they were like, well, this is going to be the new game. And then it came out. And I don't know how they could do it by
Ouch.
accident, but I'm sure this dude's going to be fired as soon as
Yeah.
that happens. But
Do you think it's part of the strike? Like, hey, we'll get in cahoots with these people and we'll really stick it to the man that way?
that could be.
I mean, if I was mad at somebody and I wanted to like really hurt a company, I guess I just leak the new game. That'd be pretty much the way to do it.
Yeah, but they'd be out of there if I was me. Okay, anyways.
Yeah.
So what happened was he leaked this information, and apparently it's going to be Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy with Groot, Rocket Raccoon.
Yep.
Star Lord. I thought it said Sun Lord. That sounds like a brand of chips. Do you really Guardians of the Galaxy? So like, do you think it's just gonna be the same narrative? I mean, Telltale games are Telltale games. It's not like they deviate from a formula or anything. But like, what do you think we're gonna see? Is this gonna be more based off of the movies? Do you think it's gonna be its own standalone thing?
Well, every Telltale Games is its own standalone thing, but it always has hints back to certain things. So I think this is going to be its own standalone story. It's going to
Mhm.
have all the same characters probably. It may even be like a little backstory of each character individually and how they maybe met up or
Mhm.
something. I don't know. I've never seen
So you're saying it might
the
be like an
original,
origin story?
but it might be like an origin story, but it's gonna throw a lot of hints to the movie.
mm-hmm.
Like you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I remember seeing that in the movie. Haha, that's funny. It's a good little reference.
Right, right.
So because that's
But
the same thing they do
without
with all the
restricting
others.
and twisting its own arm, being like,
Yep.
yo, you have to listen to this one.
Pretty much.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, moving on. Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. Where are they? I can't find them.
I can't either.
Let's get them.
Gotta catch them all.
Did you watch that? Have you seen it yet?
I haven't.
I haven't got a chance
I
to.
was excited for it, but I never got to go.
I
watch
think
it.
this. I'm about to ask you a new question, just to highlight this topic. Do you even like Harry Potter?
Dude, I love Harry Potter.
You love Harry Potter.
I watched.
You're a Potter fan.
I am a Potter fan.
Potter. What do you guys call yourselves? Not
Potter
true Harry
fan.
Potter fan. Anyway, so which one's your favorite movie then?
I would have to say, what is that one called?
Putting you on the
You
spot.
put me right on the
Putting
spot.
you on the
It's a lot of
spot.
pressure. Hold on, I got it. Gauntlet of Fire? Goblet of Fire?
Gauntlet of Fire?
The Goblet of Fire. I'm
Goblet
pretty
of
sure that's
Fire.
what it is. I don't
Sure.
know.
Sure.
But that was one of my favorites.
So are you excited for Fantastic Beasts and for them to dive into that world like as a prequel?
Yes.
Yes.
I
What
hope,
gets you excited about
I
it?
hope it doesn't ruin the movie, but
I mean, this is the first.
I don't know.
This the whole screenplay was written by J.K. Rowling. So like, instead of her making it a book and then change that book to a movie, she just kind of skipped the whole book thing and went straight to write the movie.
yeah, it's true.
But I mean, this is supposed to be so far before all the Harry Potter movies, and you're supposed to see like young Dumbledore and stuff like later on down the line. And
He's supposed to be openly gay in this one, isn't he?
I think Dumbledore is gay in general.
No, he is gay in general, but it was always masked. Like, he was always closet gay
Yeah.
in the books and in the movies. But in this next one, it's supposed to be, like, in the Fantastic Beasts, he's supposed to be straight openly gay.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
Like, everyone's supposed to know.
I mean, it's 2016. You know, we have worse things and other things happening.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's fine for them to just drop that whole barrier and just go straight to it.
Right.
I'm more excited to see like the beginnings of, you know, what Dumbledore kind of gets into, and then like Grindelwald. I don't know any Harry Potter things. People are probably mad at me for butchering it. Johnny Depp was casted in that role.
And
yeah, he's
the
was like
second one,
the
right?
OG Dark Wizard.
Yep, this is
and
gonna
him
be
and Dumbledore are gonna fight. But see, they said they're gonna span this prequel trilogy into 5 movies. How do you feel about that?
I think the reason Harry Potter was so successful was because, like you said, J.K. Rowling, she wrote this as a script before she wrote any books.
Mm-hmm.
So this one was just written as a movie.
Yeah.
I think the reason Harry Potter was so successful is because it came out as books before the movie, so it got this huge cult following of the books, and then it came out in movies for them, and it was just, oh my god, this is great.
Yeah, but you could say the same thing with Fantastic
So-
Beasts because it's riding off the tailcoats of everybody who loved Harry Potter.
Right.
Because I mean, it's still got the same theme music, it's got the same fonts. They really want you to know this is a Harry Potter film and set in the Harry Potter universe. But do you think, for all those people who were really into Harry Potter, that this is going to be enough to have them jump? Because you're not seeing any of the original characters. It's in a whole different setting. The only thing really linking the two is the fact that it's the same world and it's magic, and you know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, actually, this one isn't technically the same world. It's in, I mean, I guess you could say the same world, but I mean, I guess it's like different dimension. Because you got like the wizarding world or whatever, and this one's gonna be set in New York. So this one's gonna be in like the human world or the Muggle ward.
Yeah.
Ward,
Yeah.
the Muggle ward.
I'm sure
This is a
of
psychiatric
the
world we
wizarding
got
world
over here.
going in there, but you know, who do you think? Do you really think that this is going to be successful though? I mean, I know I keep on asking the same question, but like, how do you think that's actually gonna go?
Like I said, I think it's gonna be a lot. I don't think it's gonna draw a lot of new audience. Unless you have people with kids that are bringing them in and being like, oh man, I watched Harry Potter as a child. This is like a spin-off. You got to watch this.
Mm-hmm. So you really it really needs to bank up the fact that you've seen Harry Potter before.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you haven't seen Harry Potter, just like with the Telltale games, I was talking about how they're going to throw a lot of nods to the movie. I feel like Fantastic Beasts is going to have they're going to have a lot of nods to Harry Potter, obviously, because it's a Harry Potter film.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to have a lot of nods to throwbacks. Like there's going to be like some little costumes in like the back scene that only certain fans are going to catch, and they'll be like, oh man, it was in there for like a second but I saw it, and that's going to get big. So it's going to have a lot of
so
like
the small
subliminal messages.
Yeah, that's going to get people like, really, really excited. Like, oh, that's because of this and that. But I mean, like, as a person, I don't know, I keep on looking at it with the goggles of somebody who does not enjoy. I personally just don't like Harry Potter. I don't like anything about it. I don't like the world. It just annoys me. Especially people who it just annoys me. So the fact that they're going to spin out 5 more movies about it, I'm not too happy about it. And I don't think it differentiates itself from what it was, but not enough to get that new viewer. You know what I'm trying to say?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everybody's going to feel as if they have to see those other movies to watch this. And that's probably not the case. I bet it stands on its own as a good movie, but, you know.
Have you read any reviews about it?
Critically, it's actually doing pretty well. And the only thing that I've seen is the box office numbers, into which it opened up to about 75 million domestically, 220 worldwide, which seems like a big number when you put it on paper and you read it out loud on a podcast. But in reality, Doctor Strange itself got 85 million on domestically. And then even Suicide Squad, which bombed critically and was, in my opinion, a very, very bad film, got 133 million.
God,
so
how?
when you
we can make a movie.
That'd be better.
That would be better than Suicide Squad.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Suicide Squad got damn near, well, not damn near, we're talking about tens of thousands, but close enough to Fantastic Beasts or Fantastic Beasts is half of what Suicide Squad opened to.
Right.
I mean, how does that make you feel? I mean, the world of comic book movies, I understand we're going to dominate, but maybe it's just not going to get the same traction as it needs to.
I don't know. Huh.
Anyway, have you checked out Fantastic Beasts? Where to find them? If you have, let us know, because I really want to know about it, because I'm probably not going to watch the movie. But ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't noticed, this is the Zero to Hero podcast, where me and some friends, we get together, we talk about the things you want to hear and listen to.
That's right.
The main topic today and the main vocal point of what we wanted to get through is VR, virtual reality. We've been talking about it for multiple times on all the podcasts. I actually saved up some money, went out, blew up my bank account, and went and got the PlayStation VR. So far, I think it'd be nice, because we've both been playing it, right? Throughout the things.
Right.
You'll see the gameplays on the channel and like Facebook and the things. What review, if you had to review this, and we'll go in from like build to quality to experience, okay? In terms of overall, would you give this a 0 or would you give this a hero?
I haven't played played any Ovilus or any of the other. What was the other form of this?
Oh, you're right. So in
there are two
terms
other
of
forms.
headsets, yeah, there's 3 headsets out on the market right now. We have the Oculus Rift, which is done by Facebook and that kind of stuff. We have the HTC Vive, which is backed by Steam, but it's made by HTC, of course. And then this is Sony's, hat in the ring, PlayStation VR. In terms of specs and quality and build, this helmet is probably a little less than what you see in the other, like in terms of like resolution and that kind of stuff, but it still gets the job done. You still get the VR, and for $200 cheaper than what Oculus and HTC Vive's really kind of going for. Because I mean, in total, for you to get the full experience, it's probably about $400 to $500. Versus when you turn that to like an Oculus thing, the headset itself is $6, the hand controllers are another $2. HTC Vive starts at $800 or $900. So I mean, this is the cheapest, easiest way to probably kind of join into that. And so far so good. I really enjoy it. In terms of overall experiences, I think I have to give this a hero.
I would give it a hero now because I haven't played the others. But I mean, if the others have better graphics, I mean, this is obviously a hero no matter what.
Yeah.
Because it's better than anything we have on PlayStation now.
Right, I get what you're saying. So
I mean, it's obviously
something's
gonna be a
better
hero,
than nothing in
but
some terms.
If the Ovilus came out with better graphics, and they decided to team up with Sony, and they had just outstanding graphics.
But I doubt that would happen because.
But I mean, if it did, I mean that would definitely take this out of the game.
Yeah.
And put that in the game. It would top the charts for sure.
In terms of install base, they said they've moved over 100,000 of units, which is crazy because that is more than Oculus or HTC Vive have put together. And this thing just launched, and those other things have been on the market for almost half a year to a year now.
Right.
So I mean, I think that really speaks weight on how, cheaper usually isn't better, but in this case it kind of is, because it allows for a bigger install base and a less barrier to entry. Because I mean, I'm a college kid and I barely afforded this. Imagine like struggling families or just the normal average middle income family. Do I have $600-700 to drop? No, I don't. So having the cheaper thing that gets the job done, and not even like in terms of quality being bad, I would always pick this one. And just in my opinion, and I think that's where they're gonna beat the other 2 competitors in the long game, just because they don't have the strongest hardware. They have the software content. They have the install base of everybody who has a PlayStation 4. I mean, a little bit of everything. So I'm really excited to see where this goes. The only thing that really hurts it right now, and that's not even because of Sony, it's more because of VR in general, is lack of content. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
People making experiences for this machine for people to experience.
That's a good point. I do like this though. I mean, it's obviously a hero to me, but one of the reasons is because whenever you put it on, you totally forget everything about. I mean, you're obviously no graphics. You're gonna be like, okay, this is kind of cartoony, but it doesn't matter because when you have it on, you're in the game. You're literally part of the game. Like, there's nowhere you can't turn that you're not in the game.
Right. You can't run away from
like,
it.
It's a full 360.
You can't detach yourself.
If you're playing a horror game, like Outlast, if that was to be on here, which I know it's not, but if it was.
But imagine if it was.
You'd be getting chased. And instead of on the PlayStation, where you click a button and you turn around and you can't see behind you, you'll be getting chased and you can literally oh god, he's still there, and
Yeah,
he's still
yeah.
running. And,
You can't-
oh god,
you
I can see him. Well, that's what it's like.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, in terms of graphics, I think it could be better, but
in the fray, when you're in the middle of the
yeah.
experience,
when you're in the middle of the
you're not looking
experience,
at that
you're
and
not paying
being
attention to graphics.
Yeah,
you're
you're not
paying
looking
attention
at
to content, and you're like, okay, well, this is pretty good.
right.
One thing we got to talk about: motion sickness. Do you get the motion sickness?
I mean, do I personally get motion sickness, or like
When you first picked this up, and you played, what was it? Windlands?
Right.
Windland? I don't know.
Wind? I don't know. The game.
Something.
There's a gameplay. We got it. But yeah,
It's basically Spider-Man.
Uh-huh.
You're basically a robotic Spider-Man.
yeah. You're robotic Spider-Man. You fly through this like virtual world. It's a full locomotion game, and what that means is that it doesn't. Most VR experiences right now are pretty much like together. You sit in a chair and you kind of experience things coming at you in the stationary position. The difference between that and like that game is that completely and utterly you're moving. You're like really up in the air. You're jumping. You're falling down. And,
Right.
and when you're just in a chair, your brain sees all these things and comprehends it the way it should. Like, oh God, I'm falling, or oh, I'm swinging, but your body's still stationary. And since your body's still stationary, that's when I'd say the motion sickness really kicks in. It's not necessarily, ooh, I get motion sickness because I get motion sickness. Like
Right.
I don't like going on car rides or
Riding on planes.
riding
or
on planes. Like
anything.
that's its own thing. I get that. But that's not the same motion sickness you really kind of get here.
Right.
I think you get it because of the disconnect between your brain and your body being, oh, I'm moving. Oh, no, I'm not really moving.
Yeah.
And so your brain just kind of freaks out.
Right.
And
It
causes
just throws your equilibrium off. Like,
but yeah,
totally.
in terms of that, I will say I did experience some motion sickness where I needed to take the headset off, take a break,
Right.
enjoy the real world for a quick second. And there was a time where I did get like the VR sweats where I was sweating and I didn't really understand, like my body just wasn't really handling the experience the way I thought it would. But I mean, I guess it comes with the territory in VR in general. I mean, it's not so much of a tracking issue. It's just you personally and how you can deal with those things. Because I mean, honestly, I built the tolerance to it. You saw me play Windlands. When I first played it, I wanted to barf. I honestly had to take like 10-minute breaks, sit down. I was mad at myself. I was like, I just bought a $25 game to get motion sickness and puke all the time. That's not fun. But the more you do it, the more you kind of get into it, the more you're used to it, and it's not so bad anymore. You really
Right.
kind of experience the experience.
Yeah, definitely understand that.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, in terms of content, we've played a couple family games, a couple general games.
Yep.
In general games. Which one you say is your best so far? From the demo disc, which one did you enjoy?
I like the bomb defusing,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, you could play that on a computer and get the exact same experience because I mean, there's really nothing different about that. Yeah, because I mean, you have the printed out papers.
Yeah.
And you got a computer, and only you can see the computer screen because everyone else is sitting in front of you. So
Okay,
I mean, that
okay.
would be, it's that. I mean, you wouldn't need that
Mm-hmm.
this for that game, but in terms of what I liked the best would be that game.
Right. I like this. It allows for social interaction. I mean, it's not.
Right.
Usually, this could be a really closed off experience, but at the same time, it's also gonna be a really open experience where people can see what you're doing on the TV. You can communicate back to them. They can give you information. There's a lot of games like that where someone in the VR has to do something, but they can't do it unless they get input from the others on the outside. Like that Ghost game we played, or like
Yep.
the cowboy shooting game you haven't tried yet, and stuff like that. And so I think for that social interaction VR, I think it's really going to strive. Because those kind of gameplays, it's like family game night. Who wants to not defuse a bomb? That sounds awesome.
Right. Yeah, that does sound fun.
You know what I'm saying?
And it is fun.
And just to see a family argue and stuff like that, it's cool. It's cool
I
to see.
think the worst part about that game, one of the reasons that shouldn't be on this, I mean, it should, but I mean, for a normal family that's never played it, doesn't know anything about that kind of game, for them to pick this up and put that on,
Mm-hmm.
it would basically be like this person in the headset guessing because, like, the algorithms and everything is just so complex. And like that 60-page manual of how to defuse the bomb, it's just so complex that it would be.
It's pretty complex, but you gotta admit,
Difficult
though,
unless-
once you learn it,
once you learn it,
you start
yeah.
to get into it and actually do it.
But that's the problem, is a lot of people don't want to have to sit down and actually work for it or strive for it.
There's no more room for video.
Ooh,
That's what it says. You just want to continue?
hold up.
I mean, it's just gonna be dead.
Okay, so is that video? Is it like the battery? Or is it just video?
I don't know when that video went off. It went off a long time ago though. Technical difficulties.
This is a battery issue right now. Hand me that battery over there.
But why it is a battery issue is also more of a memory issue, yeah. Jacob Lindens, I like this podcast. Thank you, Jacob. You're the best.
Okay, well, what we can do is switch from high def to not so high def. About to break out the old school camera. Remember the one that's. We just gotta guess because we don't have a screen to look.
Yeah, I guess I'll do some video editing. Right now. Okay, so we're back to the video. What were we talking about though?
We were talking about the VR and VR thoughts. I don't remember exactly. I
Yeah.
think we were talking about the bomb.
We were talking about the bomb. We do apologize. There was a point we had to cut this. You're probably gonna hear this part, but back to experiences. Yeah. So when it comes to social and like as a family thing, I think it's really gonna fly. How do you think for somebody who's gonna go in and wants to be in the game? How do you think that really translates?
I think it's definitely gonna work, unless you get those people that just they can't handle motion sickness.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about that before already. I mean, we just talked about it like 3 minutes ago.
Yeah. I think the problem with that accusation is that people need to lower their expectations a little bit. This is first gen hardware. This is beginning of VR. This isn't.
Right.
We're not in Sword Art Online
This is
yet.
Sega.
Yeah, exactly.
PlayStation.
To akin to like the PlayStation and PlayStation 4. So imagine by the third, fourth, fifth generation, I imagine it's gonna be pretty much a better experience.
Yeah.
Because my roommate tried it and he enjoyed it. He liked it, but I think he was expecting so much that it seemed a little bit underwhelming, which is really kind of weird because I mean this thing in general is really really cool and how it all works, but you know.
Yep. Hey, my sister joined and she totally missed our entire childhood of the NES experience. Yeah. We talked about Mario, but she missed it, so okay, anyways.
It's my bad.
Scoot over a little bit. In
Um,
case that camera didn't get you.
Yeah, good point.
Yep. What do we got left? Okay, so we talked about Telltale a minute ago and we missed the Walking Dead 3. It was announced a while ago, but they've released more information about it. They released some characters that are coming back. I know you haven't played it.
Mm-hmm.
You need to because it's so good.
It's not that I don't want to play Telltale games. I do. I just don't have time for them, or I don't have the money for them.
Right.
Because I don't want to buy like one episode. I think that'd be really kind of annoying to get through it and be like, okay, what's next?
Right. So we didn't explain it earlier, but for those who don't know what Telltale games are, it's basically puts you in the game as a character or multiple characters, and you can just control everything about the character.
Mhm.
Like, I mean,
The
from
decisions
thoughts
you make
to the
towards the
actions,
story.
and then anytime you make a decision, it will just take you down a different path of a storyline. So you
Mhm.
could play this game 3 or 4 times, and I mean, there's like 20 hours of gameplay for each game, and you could play
And
this game 3 different times, and it would have 3 different outcomes and 3 different storylines to take you through.
Based on your decisions.
Based on your
the good or
decisions,
bad
yeah.
decisions you choose to make.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I kind of think they took part of that from Infamous,
Mm-hmm.
because remember how you could choose to be good or bad and it would take you down 2 different paths. So I think they kind of took that idea from Infamous.
Yeah.
So there's that.
I mean, but that's just storytelling in general. I mean, like how you want to approach it is how you want to approach it. I think the formula that they have works, and that's the reason you see them not change necessarily how the game is, just the content that's in the game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They just kind of take their formula and apply it to different things, whether it be Game of Thrones, whether it be Walking Dead, or whether it be Batman. They find a way to, I don't know, put it in perspective and make you feel like you're part of that story. And I think that's what's really special that those people at Telltale Games can do. is to craft that. I mean, to allow yourself to get into. I mean, they even gave like Minecraft a story mode. That's nuts.
They did.
Yeah, they totally.
And
did.
that's now on iPhones, Androids, and everything. Just to walk around and play.
And that's another thing about Telltale games is that they're not restricted to consoles or anything like that either. I mean, you'll see it on like the iPad or PlayStation or, you know what I'm saying? It's a little bit everywhere to allow anybody who has anything to kind of get on and interact with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah. So you want to go back? Let's go back to the VR real quick. I know we're kind of all over the place, and I do apologize for that. In terms of like overall satisfaction, what would you say?
I would be satisfied with it. I mean,
do you think it's no?
It
Okay,
would
no,
be-
let's put our big boy hats on now. Is this worth $400? You're not
That's
gonna
what I
hurt
was
my
gonna say.
feelings because I bought it. I've already took the purchase. I already took the hit. But do we think this thing right here is worth
$500.
4 Benjamins? Yeah.
Well, here's what I was thinking, because I was getting ready to say something before you said that, but I bought that camera separately.
Right.
I don't remember how much it was at the time I bought it.
It's 60.
It was 60, so I bought it. This is the first time I've used it in
Ever?
like 3 years.
Yeah.
So,
But see, that's
I mean, you got to think, and well, I know that they're going to come out with more games for this, but I mean, with the games they have right now, I would if they didn't come out with any more games, I would probably play those games for like 2 or 3 months with this thing, and I would get tired of it, and this thing would just sit in my closet. So until they start making more games for this, and oh my, if they make more games and they're like, it's a VR game, so it's got to be more expensive, $100. I would be like, okay, that's definitely not worth it.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt
you pay $500 for the headset itself, $500 for the headset itself, and then you have to pay another $100 per game.
And
Which
that's
is
what I'm seeing a
stupid.
lot of outlash with in general is because a lot of people are saying, hey, I understand games are 60 usually, but for a 4-hour VR experience, I don't think you can call that a full-fledged game. Like, you know,
No.
Grand Theft Auto is a game. You can play that for so many hours with so many different things and do whatever you want to. Versus if you buy a VR game, you're going to be restricted to a certain storyline or a certain scenario, and it's going to be short. I promise you these games are not long. They're usually probably
Right.
4 to 5 hours and the experience ends.
Absolutely.
So do you feel comfortable paying the normal price for games, even though it's just a VR experience?
I wouldn't. I think it would have to be something cheaper. It would have to be, I don't know. I would say something like $30 or $40. Something like you would get at the discount on PSN.
I think it can, and it sucks because the people who release the games are the ones who are in charge of being able to, price them and stuff.
Right.
I mean, you see a lot of them go for like 20, 30, like Windlands, like the game we played earlier, that was $25. Do you feel like that was worth $25? For me, yeah. I mean,
that would definitely be.
It's not trying to be a full-fledged game. It's not trying to be crazy. It's just trying to do what it needs to do.
That's something you can play multiple times and enjoy, rather than play one time and have the same storyline, then you beat it and you're like, okay, well, there's nothing else I can do because I've already played the whole storyline. I know everything about
you
it.
KO a game and then you're not back to it. You know?
Yeah, this one is something you can run around and you do the same thing, but it's always entertaining because you can do the same thing in different ways.
I mean, in general, though, I think games probably should be on par, probably $35, $40.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't ever expend that because, like Robinson the Journey, Eve Valkyrie, there's a couple games on the PSN right now. There are really good experiences and stuff, but is it worth $60? No. And are they being charged for $60? Yes. And I think the only thing that's going to do long term is cripple this thing because nobody's going to buy that kind of game. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So when we look towards the future of VR, where do you, like, if this is step one, where do you see not only like the PlayStation in general, but like everything in general, this platform? Where do you see it going?
I see the device itself obviously going to get smaller. I mean, just like they do with anything. Like the PlayStation 4, they had the regular PlayStation. It was real big, bulky, and they slimmed it down. They did the same thing with the PlayStation 3. Obviously, this is going to get to the point where it's smaller, and it may not be out here, but it may be more in here, and just lighter and easier to carry around, maybe a little bit easier to adjust and stuff. The visuals, not the graphics, but like the way you visualize it, like you're not going to have that right side that's blurry all the time.
But see, like I do stress to you, like if I were just to go into the settings,
and fix it.
I feel, hey, it's back. I feel like maybe if you some action certain games with just yeah, I agree, Becca. That's totally not fair. I mean, if you for $400, you should be able to get 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 games.
Yeah.
To justify that purchase, because when it comes to, if you really were to buy all this stuff, and especially with all the content or the stuff that goes with it, it ends up being like probably $5+. You take it home, you play the demos, and you're done. Like, there's not much past that until
Right.
until you purchase more games. And like we're saying earlier, if those games are 60 or 50 or 40 even, that's kind of a hassle, especially when you just went and bought and broke your bank with this big headset.
Right. So what all came with this? Let's just go with that. What came with this headset?
So I bought the standard bundle, which was just the headset, and that's it. So basically, when you get the headset, it tells you, hey, you need the camera, which I already had, so it's fine. I didn't need to worry about it. But if we're putting a price sheet together, so that's $400 plus $60 for the camera.
Hold up, wait. Let's stress this. So they're making you buy this, and they're saying you need a specific camera for VR.
Mm-hmm.
And how much were they saying that was?
$60.
Don't buy that if you already have the camera for the PlayStation 4 because they're just trying to screw you out of that $60.
Yeah.
Because the regular camera works absolutely fine with it. So don't go out and screw yourself by spending $60 more.
Mm-hmm.
That was just
But
a
let's say,
marketing
let's just say,
strategy, and
Jimmy,
it
you
worked
didn't
really
have
well.
any camera. You're starting to put that 60 in there. So like 400 plus 60. The hand controllers themselves, right now they retail for 100. That's 2 of them. So now we're at like what, 660? 560. Oh my god, I can't do math. And then probably 4 or 5 games. So yeah, you probably get to about 6 plus. So do you think that's justified? Do you think just it's gonna stay this price because it's early, or do you think you're gonna see the same drop?
It's probably going to drop. Depends on the ratings, actually. Because if a lot of people start, Christmas time's coming up. So, a lot of people are going to get this.
A lot of people are. I bet
A
you
lot
this
of
is where
people
you're gonna see a lot
are putting money into
this.
this.
Yeah.
So, if kids respond well to this, which I'm sure they will,
Mm-hmm.
then you're probably going to see that price go up.
Price go up? I don't think.
I can see it going up. But if it starts to just flop, if it comes out and a lot of people are just like, I can't do it, the motion sickness is too much, it's too bulky, it was just too expensive, you're not getting enough games for the price, all the games are too expensive, the price is going to go down because
Right.
it's just gonna flop.
I agree with the price going down. I don't necessarily think the price would go up because I think that's what gives this headset the advantage, and the reason people are buying it because it's cheaper and all you need is a PlayStation 4 versus the other ones you need a very, very expensive gaming computer and the headset itself's really expensive, and when you start to tack on all those things, stuff you don't have normally because you're not a super genius, then yeah, it's gonna be extremely expensive. You're talking $1,000 plus just to do mediocre VR.
Right.
And this does it for almost half that price.
That's a good point.
So I see it getting. I agree with you in the terms of like form factor, in the terms of like price. I think it's going to drop a little bit. I think it's going to be a little bit smaller in the next iteration, maybe a little bit better tracking, or for God's sakes, add a camera so you're not completely blind when you're in the thing, because that's really, really annoying as well.
That is, but that's part of the experience. Because if you get in there, you're gonna have that 360 view.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't want to see anything outside of that because that would probably throw things off in the headset itself. That's why you pull it up to your face and it's so black.
And so
that way you're just technically in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anyways, back to what you're saying. You bought the regular bundle. What other bundles were there? And
there
what
was
were
a
their
launch day
prices?
bundle, and the launch day bundle, it was for $500, and within that bundle you get the headset itself, the camera that you need, 2 Move controllers, so with the hands, and a game for $500. So they really kind of snuck everything into that one box for just an extra $100. I was actually going to go for that one. The only thing that stopped me is that they're sold out. So like it was technically called the launch day bundle.
Do you know what game?
Oh, it's PlayStation VR Worlds. It's the one where you go like underwater, or you're like in the London heist or stuff like that.
Okay, so it
More
was
experiences.
so that one game was kind of like a bundle.
Yeah.
Like it had different games in it.
Yeah, it's like 5 different games.
Okay, so that could there you go. That could have been pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
For Becca's question, just add that extra $100 in there, and you get like 5 different small games, not very well known games, but they're small games.
Right.
For a little extra, and you get the 2 Move controllers, the camera,
And
for the
game.
people that don't have that end game.
Yeah. But see, like the only thing I don't like that they did that is that, let's say you're like me and I have a camera, but I want those Move controllers and I want those games. Do I just buy that bundle and then sell the camera?
Probably could. Well, you could always just take it to, I don't want to say Walmart or Vintage Stock or GameStop, because they'll just, I can give you a nickel for it.
Yeah.
That's a little steep. Probably penny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You owe me money if I take
you
this.
owe me if I.
I'm like,
I can't.
That
you
makes
have to
no
buy
sense,
this.
sir.
You have to pay me to take that.
Mm-hmm. I once
how they
took
are.
a sealed copy of Uncharted 4 to a GameStop. Guess how much they asked? Guess.
$5.
$8.
$8.
$8 for a sealed. It had plastic on it still, and like, this game's trash. And I'm like, if this game's trash, I get that, but like, I could scrap it for probably $12. So you're not being fair here, sir. GameStop's policies and stuff just hurt my soul.
They do.
Do you think that's... Oh, my bad. Did you try the cinematic mode on it? Did you get to see... Because what people don't know is that this isn't restricted just to...
Gaming.
You know what I'm saying? You can use this for TV, video, a bunch of stuff, really. Do you think it's going to take off in that term? Do you think you're going to start seeing 3D movies or VR videos that are going to be released alongside this?
Clearly, I mean, I obviously think so. Because, I mean, they made the 3D movies to where... I mean, they had the console or the 3D television, and they started making 3D movies for that 3D television. So obviously they're going to have we have a virtual reality headset.
That does 3D.
And that does 3D as well. So they're probably going to start making movies that can put you into virtual reality. I mean, they're probably not going to be something like Fantastic Beasts isn't going to come out on release day of DVD. Oh, it's virtual reality. No. Yeah. They're probably going to start testing it with some smaller stuff, and then
hopefully in long term.
And then hopefully long term they may get to where you can actually be in a movie with a virtual reality headset.
Like
I think
VR
that would be pretty good.
Feature.
Yeah, like a VR theater. Well, Netflix for the Samsung one, I know you can sit back in it, you put it on, and it's like you're in a theater. Like you look around and there's just theater.
No, see, if Samsung has it on Netflix, then PlayStation definitely has it too. Right. And Hulu has it as well. Hulu has it where I can sit here and watch American Dad, but I can watch it on the beach with a big TV, or I can watch it in this virtual apartment that they put in, and like you can choose the furniture in your apartment. It's really nice. Or you can watch it in a movie theater, and it really will blow up the screen and kind of change the effects around you to the point where you really do feel like you're in that theater. And I think that's really, really something that shouldn't be overlooked, because the fact that I can stay in my small, shitty apartment, put a headset on, and I'm in a movie theater, I don't care anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get that experience. I get to have full-blown huge TV to play on or to watch TV on, even though I don't own a big TV.
Right, and that was smart marketing, because a lot of games, like, I mean, not even VR games, but just regular games, the reason that a lot of games focus on story so much is because they're trying to distract you. The reason a lot of people buy these games is because you want to be distracted from your life. So, I mean, let's say you're not very well off with money, but somehow you ended up with a PlayStation and a game, you can escape your reality of not being very well off, and you could play as the billionaire Batman. Yeah. And you could sit back and be like, wow, this is so great. And just totally escape your life for a while. So to be able to sit here and, let's say I have a 1-bedroom apartment and it's not in a very good part of the neighborhood, if I wanted to throw this on and watch a Hulu show, I could just put myself in a mansion and I could feel a lot better.
If you're in a bad part of the neighborhood, I don't know if you want to go blind.
Yeah, you probably don't want to go blind. But let's,
kick your door in and just, what's going on?
Yeah,
that'd be
that's
terrifying.
How you get robbed with this thing. Dude.
Right.
That's what you were saying earlier. That's how you get robbed.
It's pretty like scary and paranoid. And I know, I'm not saying like I want to escape the world. That's the reason you buy the headset, and that's the reason you put it on. But like when you do put the headset on and you do put those earphones on, you're gone. You're no longer in your space. So if someone even touches you, you're gonna get sick. And really, somebody can just take all the stuff out of your house, and you probably would never even know because you can't see in front of you at all.
That's true.
That's what's really crazy about the whole situation. But overall, and I know I've said that many times, but in general, overall, talk about experiences. We talked about build. Would you buy one? Do you plan to get one of these, sir?
Unless I had the extra money, I wouldn't buy it. But if I did have the extra money, then I definitely would.
That's a very honest and good answer. I like that. I like that a lot.
Because it's not a necessity. Like, if you have the PlayStation, I mean, you already have pretty good games. I mean, you don't really need it. But if you have the extra money, it's definitely worth the money. For sure.
I mean, I would say that I had to save up for this. I had to kind of push at it to get it. You know, and this wasn't something I had extra money laying around. This is something I got excited for. This is something I put money in a jar for and then spent said money. So for me, anyway, I think I'm a little bit different than you. I think I was so excited of the idea of virtual reality. Maybe it's because I'm a huge computer nerd in general, that I feel like I needed to get this. I needed to get this. And I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me, and that's not everybody's same situation. But in my opinion, that's where, you know, VR is definitely something you should invest in and something you should get into, especially the PlayStation VR. Because there's going to be a lot of games coming out where it's a lot of social experiences where you look over and you see somebody else, and that somebody else is in their living room, looking at you the same way. So I mean, it really does kind of break that wall to where you can really be with people again. And like there's a VR sports game, right?
Right.
A bar sports game. You meet in a virtual bar. There's up to 8 players, and basically what the game does is it shows like a floating headset and then the floating hands. So you can go play pool with a friend. You can shoot some darts. I can catch up with you without being in the same location. So I mean,
Right.
I still get to look and talk to you. I still hear you from my left ear to my right ear, depending on where you're at. And so for that, I think that's really where this shines, and is where it's going to shine in the future.
Right. Now, I know this is... I don't know what I'm trying to say here. But first of all, I know that there is a game. I don't know what it was called. I remember we watched a little documentary on it in our college class. But there's a game where these people get on there and they like... It's not a game I don't know how to explain it. It's like a virtual world, and they all log into the same server.
Right.
And it could be people from different businesses, different corporations. And instead of having like a video conference...
Yeah. You have a virtual conference.
They have a virtual conference. Like they have their characters made, and they're like, I don't know what shirt I want to wear. And like this is what these people were actually doing. They're like, I should wear this shirt because it looks more professional.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you're in a video game. But they all go and they'll like sit down at a coffee table, and they'll like order coffee through their virtual reality characters.
Coffee you're not gonna drink.
Yeah, coffee you're not gonna drink. And they'll sit there and they'll have their headsets on, and they'll like talk to each other like a legit conference. So I think that could be something this could be used for.
Right.
Eventually, they could get to that point where they could have this on, they could be using it on a computer or whatever, and they could go and they could have a conference. And I think that would be a more professional way to use it.
And I see VR leaking it into other markets that way too. I mean, virtual reality is going to be more and more prominent the more years go by.
Yeah.
Even Facebook, who owns Oculus Rift, one of the headsets, they're developing, it's like a virtual place where you can share your computer screen, you can share your Facebook feed and stuff, and it shows like Mark Zuckerberg's in this example, and he's like talking to friends virtually, and the headset's actually tracking his face, and if he smiles, his avatar smiles, and if he frowns, his avatar frowns. This was like new hardware that's not even released yet, just showing where this is kind of going. And anyway, he gets a video call from his wife, and he like turns, and his computer's right in front of him in virtual space, and he kind of just grabs the video call and pulls it up, and he's like, "Hey guys, look, it's my wife." And the wife sees like the virtual room, and so that's what I'm saying. I really am excited for, in general, to see where this medium goes, because I think the more and more we get to that stereotypical VR, the better. I want to get to the point where I can get in a headset and just play. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But in total, so you gave it a hero or 0?
I'd say hero for right now. Yeah, hero for right now. And you had hero?
Hero for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely a must get, or for me anyway. But if you trust my opinion or don't, if you have extra $400 like Wyatt's saying, I would definitely invest in something.
Right.
Along
So I
those
mean,
lines.
like, if you're not a computer nerd like me, then I wouldn't say it's a necessity. But I mean, it's definitely be a good Christmas present if you were gonna ask anybody for something for
Yeah, and
Christmas.
if you're a mom or if you're something for your kids, this is something
Yeah,
really
this
cool
is
for the
definitely
whole
something
family, I'd say.
For everybody, because there's a lot of games that involve everybody.
Right.
So it's not just like, it's not like an Xbox or a PlayStation where one person would just go put on headphones and sit in a room, and they're alone, and they're like, "Don't interrupt me, Mom. Not now."
Right. This is more about.
Yeah, like this is more about like, it can be more of a family connection. Like the bomb defuse game we were talking about earlier, it can just be used for everybody. So
Right.
that's definitely good. Okay, what else do we have to talk about?
That's actually it.
We have a couple more things. The Last of Us.
Oh, the Last of Us movie. Yeah, we totally
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Okay,
if you
so
enjoy movies, of course.
Yeah, if you enjoy movies and video games, The Last of Us movie, sad news, has been put on hold. They've come to a standstill. Sam Raimi, Neil Druckmann, who is the writer of the Last of Us game, and Ghost House Pictures are all producers of the movie. But, what is it? Oh, what is it? Sam Raimi works for Screen Gems?
What?
I don't know.
Screen
Anyways.
Gems is his producing company.
Yeah, so those three are all producers of the movie, and Druckmann, who again is the writer, he's one of the writers for the movie, had a disagreement with Sony on the movie, and that's caused a standstill in the production.
Just a gridlock. No one's doing anything.
Right.
Yeah. I know you're kind of upset about this, and I understand why. I'm actually more happy about this. I'm excited to see this not happen.
Explain your reasons, and I'll explain mine.
Okay, well, the reason I'm against the Last of Us movie is that I have a strong philosophy. For one, video game movies suck in general. I mean, if we can go back to like Super Mario Bros. Was a bad movie. World of Warcraft was a bad movie.
Well,
I mean, come on, name a good video game movie. I'll wait.
Bro, okay, wait a second.
I'll wait.
Let's just talk about this for a minute. A moment. Let's talk about.
Okay.
Okay. Here.
I'm waiting for a
The
good video game
Walking
movie.
Dead.
The Walking Dead?
Yes.
It's not a movie.
It's a video game.
You default. You're wrong.
It came from a movie though, or a TV show.
But is it a movie?
It's a TV show.
But is it a movie?
It's basically.
But is it a movie?
It's
TV
basically
shows are different. TV shows.
It's just an ongoing
TV shows
movie.
You get more time. I'm talking about a movie. 2 hours. Sit down. You have to watch this. Name a good one. Can't name a good one.
Give me a second. I'll think of one. Let's continue talking about
Maybe
stuff.
Assassin's Creed will break that trend. But what my point was is that I feel that when you make other properties based on said properties, you kind of dilute the magic and the cool part about that. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that they're gonna make a movie is just only going to hurt The Last of Us, not help it.
Right. I respect that. I understand and respect that opinion.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And my opinion on this is, I know Leonard's not here, but he would totally back me on this. And I hate that he's not here.
We miss you, Leonard.
Leonard, we miss you. We're so sad here. I hate having to work with this dude. I'm just kidding.
Still here.
I'm just kidding.
Continue your point.
Anyways, I know Leonard would back me on this. When we were younger, we played Dante's Inferno.
Right.
Dante's Inferno. That's absolutely right.
Dante's Inferno.
And I played the video game first. Never heard anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
Leonard showed it to me. He was like, dude, this game's awesome. We got to play it together. So we started from the bottom, played it all the way to the end. Some nudity in it. My mom didn't like it. We still played it anyways. She doesn't know. But anyways, that led me to discovering there's a poem about it. And I was like, oh, man, the poem. And it was like a 600-page poem. And I was like, Jesus Christ. And I found out that our school carried the book.
Ow.
And I was like, oh my God, I gotta check this out. So it took me like 6 straight months, but I finally forced myself through that book, and it was so confusing, but I understood it because I played the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found out there was a movie about it. So
Right.
I was like, okay, I gotta watch this. So I watched that movie, and even though I know that poem sucked because I just didn't understand it, and it just wasn't as good as the game, I still had the game to fall back on, and I was like, okay, that game is still great. So if this movie tanks, anyone who's ever played The Last of Us will still know how good that game is. And even if people who've never played that game see this, they're gonna be like,
They're not gonna play that game because
they're not gonna be like, this movie sucks.
Yes, they are.
They're gonna hear other people being like,
no.
they're gonna read reviews.
Wrong.
Hold up, they're gonna read reviews.
Hey, shh.
Let me talk. They're gonna read reviews just like you would, and they're gonna be like, well, the reviews say that this movie was just god awful, but the game was so good.
So I gotta
That's
check
just
out
what
the
people
game.
are gonna review.
So-
Yeah, so they're gonna be like, well, I should check out the game.
I'm more
And they'll
afraid-
play that game, and they'll be like, okay, this game is a lot better than the movie. So I mean, even if the movie does tank, there was still a high percentage that, I mean, the game's still gonna be good. So it's not like The Last of Us is gonna lose a lot of or it's gonna lose a lot of credibility.
Yeah, I mean, but is it? I mean, because if you think about it, is someone going to say, "Oh, this is a bad movie. The game must be terrible"? That's going to be their first assumption, and it's they're going to go off of, and that's how it is. I don't think you're going to see people go, "Hey, this movie was terrible." Okay, well, it was reviewed terrible, but the game is said to be good. I should check out the game. No, the people are lazy. They're going to take the assumptions. They're going to think first, act later, and because of that, I think if you make a movie, and like this is all saying if it's bad, you know what I'm saying? They can make this movie and it could be great. I'm just saying from the track record of previous video game movies,
Right.
It never really ends well. So I just don't want them to hurt the brand. You know?
Yeah,
You know?
see where you're coming from.
And even so, like, what would you want a Last of Us movie to be about? Do you want it to be a recreation of that movie, or do you want it to be its own standalone
I would
story?
like it to be. No, I wouldn't want to see a standalone story. I mean, I would maybe for a sequel to the first one, but I think to really like, if they were trying to make this a good movie, I would want to see a shot-for-shot remake of the video game because that storyline was so good, and just the idea behind the whole game was just fantastic. So I think to see like
It was executed pretty well.
it was executed just great.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if they were to market this right, and they were to do a shot for shot, it would just be unbelievable. And I think then after that, after they build a good cult following of that, I mean, not that they don't have one already, but I mean, after they build a good fan base, like a new fan base, from all the people that haven't played the game, they could do a standalone film.
Right.
Because it would be a continuation of a storyline. So
I just don't know if I want to experience that world again. I want to have a controller in my hand and I want to be playing it.
Right. Here's the point I was trying to make, though. If you went out and watched this movie and it sucked,
yeah,
would you be mad? Because I mean, you would still have the video game. You'd be like, video game's still better.
I would know that. I'm just telling you about people, and I guess you're right. What am I even fighting for here?
How many? I mean, with all the fans of this video game and all the people that play video games that know, just like you, sometimes games or movies of games aren't as good. Do you think that they would still be that way? You think they would still be like, okay, well, this movie wasn't good. The video game must suck.
Yes, I still think they would.
I don't think they would.
I still think they would.
I don't know. But even that, the
I
cult
don't want
following
them
of this video game would be good enough to have people see this movie and be like, oh, it sucked, but the game is still good, so I would still play the game a million times.
If this movie does launch and actually gets off the ground, I think you're gonna see a lot of people hyping it up and getting like, yeah, this game was good. You should watch the movie. People probably telling their friends telling their friends. But then what are you gonna do when they come through and it's not good?
I don't know.
You hurt the brand.
Well, you hurt the brand, but I mean, all these people. I mean, it's not. I mean, they may lose a little bit of money, but I mean, they're not gonna lose any fans.
The fact is, it's not they're gonna lose money towards like the game because this game has been released. It's out, and it came out on PS3 originally, and then it went to PS4, and it's been out for a year. You can probably get it for like $12 on Amazon. Even though it's still a super good game,
it's still for $20 on.
It's still.
PSN.
It's what I'm saying. It's old. It's an older game. So, I don't know in general where this is gonna go and how I feel about it, but my first gut wrench reaction is, hey, I don't like this. I don't like the way it's going, and I don't like the idea. Just because you have a good property doesn't mean you should make it into a movie.
Okay. A couple more things.
How do you care about the Assassin's Creed movie going out? You feel bad about it, don't you? You're like, I don't want to watch this.
Go ahead. Tell me how I feel about the movie, huh? Tell me what I think I should feel.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, you're good.
Continue.
I'm just messing around. So, I never played Assassin's Creed. You gave me the
Whoa.
three. You gave me.
You never played like Assassin's Creed?
Okay, you gave me the first 3 games. I remember, and then
I gave you 3 games you didn't play.
You gave me 3 of the games, and then you were like, I played like the beginning of one. Like, I played like the part of the first one. You were like, I remember you saying like, the first one sucked. You shouldn't be playing that one.
You shouldn't play the first one.
You shouldn't play the first one. The first one was awful.
First one's
and then
terrible. They fixed it with 2.
Then I skipped that one, and I went to the second one. I was confused as hell. And I was like, what am I supposed to be doing right now? I don't know what's going on. So
how? Because it's
so
a whole new
it was that
character
point where I was like, okay, I'm way too lazy. I'm not gonna play this.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to play the first one because you say the first one wasn't good, but I have to play the first one to play the second one, or I'm gonna be confused. So I was like, whatever. I'm not gonna worry about playing it. So that's why I haven't played the game, so I can't really have an opinion on the movie. The movie trailer looks really good. It looks awesome.
It does look good.
It looks very good. And I've heard that all the stunts in there, like all the diving and stuff, was not CGI.
No, it's all real.
I heard it was all
dives.
legit, like all like diving off buildings and stuff.
Yeah.
Legit. So I think that's gonna be good, and I think that's gonna bring.
Though.
I think that's gonna bring a real human element to the movie instead of making it CGI crap like Spider-Man. Whenever he's flying through buildings and it's just he looks plastic or made of rubber or something.
Don't hate on my boy Peter Parker.
Oh, shut up, man.
According to you, there's a Sesame Street movie in the works.
That's what I thought. Yeah, all right. So this is
How do you feel about that?
This is not usually what we talk about, but we're going to because
So
this is everyone's childhood.
Sesame Street being a movie, I feel like it's going to be akin to the Muppets movie, or what they try to do there, you know what I'm saying? Where it's kind of like the old formula, but they kind of revamp it a little bit. Throw probably a really good actor in there.
Yeah, like Jason Segel and the Muppets.
Yeah, exactly. So if they come out with like Sesame Street and Johnny Depp's in it, I'd be like, yeah, hell yeah, I want to watch that. Yeah. More of the hopes to see Johnny Depp as Big Bird or something crazy, but even if he's just a human, I'm down. Give me a good actor. How do you feel about it?
I don't know.
It's just one of those things.
It's one of those things where you're like, okay, this is either going to be okay or it's going to tank. Like, it's not. Yeah, no one asked for this.
Yeah,
so.
that's why I look at it. Like nobody.
Yeah, like what male adult was like, Sesame Street? Yes, that's gonna be great. I gotta go watch that.
Yeah.
I am not gonna watch it because.
You say this, but
going on
the night you have
21
the
when it
ticket
comes
in your
out.
hand, I will.
Going
I'll
on
grill
21
you.
when it comes out, I'm gonna look awkward walking into a theater as a grown adult, going to watch Sesame Street by myself, no children. Nothing. Just gonna be awkward.
Mm-hmm. So I'm reading the comments on our Facebook page. I do apologize. I zoned out. Minecraft movie cast Steve Carell. That movie's kind of far off, isn't it? It's not even close to being done.
No.
No, it's in production.
Not at all.
Pre-production.
But I think casting Steve Carell was a good decision. Because I think he would work really well in the Minecraft. Is this gonna be? I mean, I don't know why. Is it gonna be animated? That's what I was getting ready to
No,
ask.
it's gonna be live action, where it's gonna be great. Be punching trees and all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I imagine why it will probably be animated.
I would hope so.
Who do you think Steve Carell's gonna play? Is he gonna be Steve?
Probably. Yeah. Well, no, he wouldn't have to change his name, dude.
See what I did there?
Yes, that's exactly what. Okay, Steve is the main character in every. Anyways.
Every Minecraft.
In every Minecraft.
He's the character you play as for people who don't play Minecraft.
But
Sorry
anyways,
you didn't have a child.
Yeah, knowing Steve Carell as an actor and what he's done, he seems like he's got the kind of. He puts off that kind of vibe. Like he would be a very friendly, happy kind of character.
What do you think this movie's even gonna be about?
I don't know.
Because I mean, Minecraft has a story, kind of, sort of, not really. But like, how do you think that's really gonna pan out?
I think they're gonna do exactly what they did with Telltale. I played the first episode of Minecraft, and I don't know. I just wasn't super into it. I mean, it was good enough that I would go out and buy the game, but I didn't have the money at the time, so I didn't worry about it, and now it's just too far off. But Telltale made a game off of it, and the first part was a decent storyline. It made me want to keep playing, but I just didn't have the money, like I said. So I feel like it's possible for them to make a good storyline, but I mean, you never know. Yeah. I mean, movies.
Video game movies have a bad track record. Discounts.
Movies tend to. I don't know. They either tend to be really good or they just tank. There's no
middle ground. Yeah, I guess there's some okay movies. I've been like, that was an okay movie, but I don't know. I
am not a fan of animated movies. Like Halo. I know that little series that came out. It's still on Netflix. It's doing really well. That is one video game that came out as a TV show or a little movie like Red vs. Blue or whatever.
Oh, you're talking about Red vs. Blue. Okay, I was like, Halo.
So I mean, that did turn out okay. So that is one video game, TV show, movie that came out pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that wasn't great and it wasn't horrible.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, there was that middle ground right there. But I feel like Minecraft is a movie, knowing all the noobs, I'm going to use that word because we found Minecraft before it was famous, you know. Because that's what we do. Nice. We find things and make them good.
That's not true.
But, dude, we were playing Minecraft before it was a thing to buy on the computer.
Oh, no, I agree. I remember playing it before.
We were playing like that open server, that one open server that everyone was just destroying.
I remember playing that game in pre-alpha.
Yeah, that's what that was.
In the game, yeah.
Yeah, and then it finally came out, and now it's just like I can't get on there without getting called fag by a bunch of little.
You fucking griefer.
Yeah, you griefer. Like, Jesus Christ, man, back off, you
Stop
6-year-old
TMT,
freaking Nazi. That's what I feel like they all are.
Yeah.
Because they're all screaming at me in German. And I'm like,
a
bunch of little 6-year-olds screaming at me in
sad.
German. I don't know what's going on, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
But yeah, I feel like Minecraft is going to attract a lot of attention through children. It's going to come out as a children's movie. Obviously, not going to be walking around screaming cuss words in an animated movie like this. But I feel like it could do really good with a younger audience and
install base because by the time this comes out, I think we're gonna be a little bit older. Like, I'm not saying we're gonna have kids or anything, but like, it's gonna appeal to young kids. It's gonna appeal to like the people who are playing it when it first launched. It's gonna appeal to like those adults who play it now.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna have
got the install base to do well.
Yeah.
But the fact is, if it does well or doesn't do well, is what is seen to be seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's time for my favorite part of the show. Super fast, quick recap.
Super fast, quick.
Super fast
stuff.
We run through the stuff we talked about in case you missed it and you didn't listen.
Yeah.
Super fast. Sun and Moon has released on 3DS. You can play it or not play it. NES Classic launched. People were fighting each other in the streets. You can play that or not buy it, I guess.
There were new Telltale games. Guardians of the Galaxy. Super fast. Guardians of the Galaxy. You can play it or not play it, depending on whether or not you like the TV or the TV.
Do you like Telltale games? Let us know in the comments below.
If you haven't played it, you should play it.
Super fast.
Super fast. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Where
are you going to find them all?
Where are they going?
Who knows? Super fast.
Super fast. Super fast. VR opinions. We gave our opinions on PlayStation VR. We told you if it's worth the money. Is it worth for all the content? What games did we like? Should you buy one? Probably.
Super fast.
Super fast. The Last of Us movie. It is totally not probably happening. It's probably going to happen. They're having problems. I don't know why. They're going to figure it out. I turned to the wrong page. I'm turning again.
Have you played The Last of Us? If you think it's a good idea for a movie, let us know.
In the comments below. Super fast. Marvel Games is going to get a good... We've already said that one. Super fast. Sesame Street is getting a movie. Who asked for that?
Nobody asked for that.
What the hell's going on?
If you're one of those people that asked for that, super fast.
Super fast. Minecraft has casted Steve Carell to be in the movie, to be the voice that you hear and things and stuff.
Which is going to be good in my opinion. If you could hold on to that microphone, that'd be fantastic.
I dropped it. I'm sorry. Super fast. Well, it's my favorite segment, Super Fast News. Thank you guys for listening to episode 13 of the Zero to Hero podcast. If you have a topic you like to hear about and you want to hear me and Wyatt and Leonard argue about it ferociously, go ahead and drop those on the comments of this video on YouTube, or we also have a Facebook page, Zero to Hero. You can find that on Facebook, because that's what I just said. In general, do you think we covered everything, Wyatt?
I think we did.
Is there any thank yous you want to say to?
Thank you for everyone who even
Thank you for all the people on
joined and
Facebook
tuned
on
in.
the live thing. We really appreciate it. Please tell your friends if you enjoyed it. If you didn't, let us know why you didn't enjoy it. I want to figure out why.
Thank you for those people that liked this video on Facebook. Thank you for the people that shared it. I think you're the only one that shared it, so thank you, Christian.
Yeah, high five to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, high five. Oh, that hurt.
That's how it felt with all that VR.
You know.
You'll see that later. It was good.
Yeah. Check out our VR gameplays that will be posted to the Facebook and YouTube channel.
Also, thank you for the comment. We appreciate it. Comment more often, everybody.
Yeah, shout out to Jacob Lindens and Becca Dudley for commenting on the...
Okay, for anyone that was confused why we have this thing right here, Terry saw us yesterday buying all this. Actually, this morning at like 2:30 in the morning buying all this.
True.
In the video, we have another camera over here in the video. We're going to put on Facebook and YouTube. This is going to be a green screen. So anything we talked about today, you'll see right here. It won't be a green thing here. It'll be the legit video. Mm-hmm. So there's that.
Yeah, we're up and coming. We're trying our best week by week to kind of see what we need to do to adjust the show accordingly. But thank you for all of you who have listened. Thank you for the people on Facebook. I think I said thank you again 1,000 times. Leonard, we miss you.
We miss you, Leonard.
Hurt my feelings.
We'll have Leonard here next
Leonard
time, for sure.
He had to go tranquilize
llamas.
Llamas.
Okay, so Christian, if they were to find us on Twitter, where would they look?
02Hero16, and those were all numbers instead of the words, if you kind of get what I'm laying down. Why, if they're looking for us on Facebook, where would they find us?
Oh, it's Leonard!
It's fine.
Oh, sorry. @02Hero podcast.
And then if somebody's looking on Facebook, you can find us at 02Hero there. But thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you next time, okay?
Yep, for sure.
Peace.
Peace.